Hello there to all my new nurses that are going to be working on WCC 6. We are very happy to have you guys, and we have put together some useful information through a course, like an orientation course for you guys, because bone marrow transplant is such a specific form of care. It's very complex in nature, and we're going to review lots of different things, but this particular unit of instruction is about CAR T transplants. I'm sure you guys have heard a little bit about those as they've started to get oriented to the unit. So we do a specific unit on CAR T transplants because they can be very complex, and there's just a lot that goes into them, and you guys are going to be learning so much. A lot can be overwhelming. So we want to give you as much knowledge on this topic as possible. Now, CAR T transplants. CAR T stands for chimeric antigen receptor transplants, and there's a lot of different things that goes into this type of transplant. And some of the facts, you guys will go through on your own. Just knowing that a CAR T transplant is a type of auto transplant, and you guys have probably heard the difference between autologous and allogeneic transplants. Allos are when you have a donor, you have donor cells, and autos are when the cells come from yourself. And this specific type of transplant uses T cells, but it uses the patient's own T cells, so it's technically a type of autologous transplant. And then you'll go through some details about this. This specific transplant uses T cells specifically, so those cells are collected from the patient, and then they are actually modified in a lab, and that's why they call it chimeric antigen receptors. They're essentially modified to recognize cancer cells and attack them. You know how receptors can attach to certain antigens, and essentially these T cells are able to identify the cancerous cells and attack them. So essentially those cells are collected from a donor, sent to a lab, genetically modified, and then they're brought back, and after the patient receives some conditioning therapy, they will be reinfused into the patient. On here I have there's some visuals on here to kind of show what I just talked about. They take away those T cells, they modify them. Then they take all of them and they reinfuse them back, and they're able to bind to cancer cells. There's also a video on here. I'm not going to play it for you guys right now, but this is a good visual that kind of shows how that cell specifically is binding to a cancer cell in order to attack it and keep it from multiplying and destroy it. So there's a nice little video in here for you guys. So one big thing too is that University of Rochester, and our unit participated in a clinical trial for CAR T therapy, and we participated in this trial back in 2016, and then that is when we started using CAR T therapy. Was after that trial, and there was success from that trial with diffuse large B-cell lymphoma patients. So we saw a great amount of response. Patients were having a complete response to this type of therapy. So we decided to use it on the floor. It's still very new, and there are still many clinical trials going on right now with different products and things. So we're constantly getting new data as far as that goes. So this kind of just reviews who can get this type of transplant. On our unit specifically, we see the most for diffuse large B-cell lymphomas and lymphomas in general. There's some research going on about using it for ALL, multiple myeloma, but we haven't really seen that yet. We're still getting new products. So usually the patients we are seeing are with lymphoma, and diffuse large B-cell lymphoma is the most common form of lymphoma. So we see a lot of those patients. Typically patients are given transplant for their cancer because it's typically aggressive, or it's relapsed and it's refractory. So those are kind of the reasons why they become candidates for this type of transplant. So then we'll also go through the major side effects of CAR T, and that's one of the reasons we actually decided to develop this whole unit of instruction, because there's a lot of specific side effects that can occur and a lot of specific nursing responsibilities when it comes to this transplant. So we see something called cytokine release syndrome, which you guys may have heard of. Neurotoxicity, there can be neurologic effects from this type of transplant. And then, as the same with our other transplants, you can get an increased risk for infection, and your blood counts can be affected from your chemo conditioning. This is a little visual here that kind of helps look at the whole cytokine release syndrome. There's really just this massive inflammatory response that happens when you have these CAR T cells infused into you. And the body's response, you can have neuro response, you can have hemodynamic instability, and you can have organ dysfunction. A lot of our patients can get very, very sick with the neurotoxicity. They can become completely unresponsive, have seizures, delirium, all sorts of things. So a lot of these patients may end up going to the ICU, and that is why it's very, very critical that nurses are prepared to identify neuro symptoms, signs and symptoms of cytokine release syndrome. Because if we don't recognize those signs, our patients are at very high risk. So we need to get them to a higher level of care if we can take care of them. And as far as CRS goes, a lot of things we monitor for in your vital signs when we're looking at nursing care of CAR T patients. We're monitoring vital signs every 4 hours and report any changes. A lot of times you'll see some hypotension, fevers, tachycardia, so you got to be mindful of all of those things. Even if it's in the slightest, you could be catching a potential CRS in a patient, so you have to be very thorough. You want to look at their daily labs. We look at labs that have to do with their inflammation, since we're seeing this massive inflammatory response. And then there's a CAR T protocol, and then with that protocol, there's the discussion of, do we administer steroids or tocilizumab? This is an example. This isn't the exact same grading scale we use, but we will grade CRS and we will grade neurotox. This goes into depth there, but essentially we decide what kind of treatment we're going to do based on the patient's presentation or what grade they are. So, for example, if they're having hypotension, if they're getting hypoxia, there's the consideration of tocilizumab. And with the neurotox grading as well, when they're not awakening spontaneously, seizures, things like that, you'll see that there's protocol to follow as far as steroids as well. Essentially, the tocilizumab and the steroids help suppress that inflammatory response that's going on to hopefully resolve some of the symptoms as the T cells are doing what they need to do. We also talk about recovery after CAR T transplant. There's more of like an acute recovery versus a long-term recovery. It all depends on, the length of time it takes your immune system to recover as well. So these are some of the things we go over. I look forward to working with all of you very closely. Thanks, guys.